Hey guys, and welcome back to what may be the longest part of Ghost Trick, and not without cause or reason. There's a lot of intense shit that happens in this one. 10 years ago, a man named Sissel took a little girl named Lynn hostage and then was killed by a meteorite fragment. But that was us. The name we've been using is Sissel, but that wasn't the name of the man that Zhao shot and supposedly killed back in the day. So, it's like Richie said, we had context, but it's just been upturned, and now we know basically as much as we did before. In fact, we need to find more information now. We need more context, more luscious lore, before we... What? Nani?!
Nani?
Yes, everything has just gone to shit.
Everything's falling apart, man. Everything's falling apart.
Man, it's so weird to see Sissel, quote unquote, in this light. Just like, his entire aura has changed. It's become a lot more menacing and dark.
Also, he's such a fucking nerd. He called himself a Sith.
I know, Commander Sith, it's just like, that is a proper Star Wars reference and a half.
Tishi, which is something for cooking of the duck. I don't know. I'm on a Mr. Plinkett mood right now. I don't know why. Do you know his last review was pretty good, the Ghostbusters one? I was expecting schlock, especially after the episode 7 review, quote unquote review. Anywho, this guy calls himself Sissel. Sorry, I'm on a tangential mood tonight, what can I say? He's been working with the blue people. I don't know what nationality they are. They're from Bluesia. There you go. And we don't have much time left, so we've got to solve the mystery of us, or me, I guess, if you want to put it in a first-person perspective, and we don't have much time left, so let's try and reach Cabanella, and well, I think we got our wish. He's dead as shit right now.
It's gonna be good because now he's actually gonna know who we are and listen to us and be able to hear us, so even though you know he's dead, it's actually gonna work out for the best.
Maybe he'll actually calm his ass down and stop trying to get Zhao executed. It's like, bro, get over the rivalry. It's not necessary.
I don't think it's a rivalry. I think he's just too committed to doing his job. He's like a warped mirror. He's like a funhouse mirror version of Zhao. You're essentially seeing the same image, but it's just distorted a bit.
Oh, I see. This theme is so... Why is this theme just so different from everything else on this game's soundtrack?
Yeah, it's all very regal and tinkly, you know?
I don't know, where's the jazziness?
Hold on.
Yeah, we're kind of on a submarine right now, it would seem, and bloody hell.
No, there's no kind of about it, Richie. I wish you'd, stop using these kind of terms. We're literally on a submarine. That's how you use the word literally, by the way.
Well, we're not literally. You guys are kind of only in the semi-section
Jesus.
of a submarine.
Man, those glasses really pay off when you give him an evil portrait to work with.
Right. He's sinister now.
It's because they're very angular. Anything that's angular comes across as being villainous in the right contexts. It's why what often happens in animation is that the villains have got kind of angles going on and all the heroes are very kind of circular and round.
Yeah, good point.
Also, the plot in this game kind of hinges on Sissel being an uncommon name. Could you imagine if the main character's name was Matt? It's like, Matt 10 years ago killed him. It's like, well, that could be pretty much anyone, so...
Yeah, that could even be Helldragon. His name is Matt.
Well, there you go. See, it's just that common.
Well, let's have a reskin of Ghost Trick, where, I play Jowd. Richie, you can be Lynn, I guess, or Camilla. whichever works for you, really.
Richie is clearly missiles, so back off.
Fair enough, mate.
Clearly.
Alright, Cabanella's not awake yet, quote unquote, so we gotta go back and see what killed him in the first place. Ooh, this one is gonna be a bit intense. So yeah, there we go. We know he made the phone call, blah, blah, blah. And I guess he was pressured into doing this, sorry. Momentarily lost grasp of the English language there. It's an hour-long part, bye me.
And also, I mean, you know, the shock of Inspector Cabanella's about turn to, you know, giving in to the whims of this fella, who is or is not Sissel, is it kind of shocks you, kind of. I'm going to keep saying kind of until, you know, my brain suddenly realises that I shouldn't be saying it anymore.
Yeah. Well, when it's subjective,
it's
then
just
you
such
can
a
use
shock that it
kind
makes
of.
you stop.
Richie, don't talk over me. I told you what will happen if you talk over me. Oh, I'm such a little
Daddy,
bitch.
stop fighting.
Oh my god. Come on, Cabanella, you gotta have a piece on you. And don't listen to him, he's just being bitter. But, actually, could this be the same guy from the park? He doesn't look a day older, although for that matter, the Guardian of the Park didn't look any older either, so I call shenanigans, Ghost Trick art design team.
Well, to be fair, Jowd didn't look much older either, apart from, you know, the fact of now he's a bit older and grizzled, but, the only person who looked any older was Lynn, and that's because she was like 10
Yeah,
when
true.
she was in that park, and obviously a lot changes between when you're 10 and when you're 20.
Oh, okay. Here comes the fucking excuses. If Lynn wasn't there in the park, I wouldn't have had to take her hostage. And Cabanella's like, massacre, you're wrong, you backer.
Backer Keiichi. They should have done it with Detective Cabanella. Just keep him all this fanciness, all this style, but just make him a disgusting weeb.
You better believe I shouted objection while we were recording, by the way.
Also, this is just how dumb I was when I was playing this game. I even considered the theory that maybe there is multiple Cecils.
Huh. I mean, time travel is a factor, so I don't think you were too off the mark there. You weren't right either, but I can actually see...
Oh, I was so not right.
I can see the gears whirring in your head with that, like, style of logic.
That, like, maybe this is a past Cecil who's time traveling, and like we're a Cecil at the point in time where we've learned all the lessons that this past Cecil needs to learn, or something. I don't know. Time travel is weird and dumb, and it just makes stories complicated.
And I would say that while Ghost Trick does a relatively decent job of making its time travel sort of make sense, it does have a few holes that time travel always does have.
Yeah.
Particularly, obviously, when we were in Thameslink Park, we had... Obviously, Missile had been going back time and time again to try and sort out the problem so that nobody had to die. Oh!
This spooked the shit out of me the first time. Look at that.
I know, it doesn't feel right. But it does explain a lot. But yes, what I was obviously saying was that when we were in Thameslink Park, you had Missile trying to save everyone, but couldn't, so had to only save Camilla by swapping the things around. That action obviously takes place in that timeline, and so when Sissel went back to rescue the Guardian of the park, we had Missile there again, but Missile was able to do different stuff.
Kablow.
And it's a bit complicated. That kind of is where the holes get introduced, because you have things occurring that then continue to occur but also don't occur, and it gets a bit of a mess.
Oh, I think someone just had a wake-up call.
I feel like the plot in this game is like a fishnet. Yeah, it's full of holes, but it functions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And also, it's a pretty snazzy fishnet, so...
It's well woven, let's put it that way.
Yes.
Damn, man, I'm like on the top of my philosophical game tonight when it comes to metaphors and whatnot.
Look at this guy, he thinks he's Robert Frost or something.
Shut the fuck up. Let me enjoy my small victories, okay? Anywho, I don't think there's anything left to do but go back in time. No, well, we already went back in time. Set events in motions, I should say.
Ghost trick the game. Ghost trick the game. Well, I guess I have no choice but to go back in time.
Yeah, Sissel. Just because you are bad guy doesn't mean you are bad guy. I don't think your quotation mark Sissel close quotation mark, but you still don't know who you are exactly. Man, this is just a puzzle wrapped in an enigma, gifted in a mystery. I don't know. That wasn't one of my best. I'm sorry. Just can we start the puzzle already so I can comment on the fucking gameplay, please?
When do we play the video game, Mr. and Tom? When do we get to the game? This is the game!
We're going now, Maxie.
Okay.
Don't you worry, don't worry. We'll pick up McDonald's on the way home. It will be fine.
Yeah, there's just one slight problem. We're not actually doing much in turning this time back. Because, well, we probably could save Cabanella right now. I have the feeling that there's probably something a little bit more important that we need to be getting on with. And also, yeah, that glowy stuff is very, very, very peculiar.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the stuff we saw in Thameslink Park.
Yeah, I wonder if they're connected in any way?
I guess you just have to keep watching and see.
You guys wouldn't be talking in those weird tones for ironic purposes, would you?
I'll never tell. Yeah, we had to wait for the kettle to reach the floor before we could get down here, and, is this part of the Rube Goldberg machine? Did you add parts to it when we weren't looking or something?
Lynn picked up a hobby.
Nah, I think it kinda went boom.
Jeez.
There's a lot of explosions in this town. Meteorites, cars driving through chicken restaurants. I mean, whatever the hell happened to that room?
So, I mean, to be fair, it totally makes sense that someone decided to blow up this room. I mean, remove the evidence, kill somebody else whilst they're at it. Yeah, it just makes sense.
Well, it's more the replication of a crime scene, but if there's someone like here who's dead, that's, I hate to say great, it's fortunate for us because we can use it to go back in time another 4 minutes and see what caused the explosion in the first place.
Yeah, and also hopefully save another life because it's kind of important.
It is kind of the crux of the game. Oh no! Oh, it was Superintendent Man, and now his Twitter icon will forever be alone.
No!
Well, Tom, not if we have anything to say about it. We're going to rescue Old Pigeon Guy and bring him back to life.
Nice. Time to manipulate this very solid piece of machinery. Oh.
That was just so
pathetic.
awkward.
Yeah.
Why? What is wrong with this chapter?
Yeah, it's pretty higgledy-piggledy. I don't know if that's the right word, but whatever. Let's talk to this guy. I think he might actually be awake already. Oh, no. Come on.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it'll probably come around pretty quickly because, he's meant to be an incredibly intelligent guy. And, I like how his pigeon is dead with him despite the fact that it's actually alive.
Yeah, that's just how he sees himself. Like, we figured out that, Sissel, the guy that we're playing as, might not be the same as the one who was in the park 10 years ago. Maybe. But he still sees himself this way, so, there's that kind of thing.
Lynn did the same thing too, like way in the beginning of the game, right? Like she remembered herself as someone else.
Yes, that is also very true.
Yeah, so their true form is just that little blue sphere. Their actual human form is just a projection of their thought.
Yeah, for sure.
It's light being projected through their gemstone.
What did I tell you? What did I say last part?
He walked right into it, guys. You saw.
I guess. Well, these two have a pretty strong grasp on their identities, but I love, like, embarrassed Sissel. It's so adorable. Any Hoozleboos, let's go back in time, because we got to see what sets this really tragic chain of events in motion to begin with. I wonder what happened to Missile, by the way. He just kind of upped and blew away in a light breeze. It was hilarious, but we sure could use his help about now.
Missile of the gods.
I mean, you see, this is largely why you don't transfer yourself into a leaf without moving to something a little bit more solid, because you're very likely to get blown away with it.
Yeah, tell that to Clara Oswald, mate.
This is true.
I'm in the leaf, Miss Lynn. Goodbye forever.
Aww. Alright, so... Can we call him not Sissel? Otherwise it's going to get really confusing really fast.
Can we call him Toosel?
Well, we could call him either Other Sissel or Another Sissel, as the guide that we were using did. And to be fair, I quite like that. So we've got Sissel, and then we've got Another Sissel.
Another Sissel, another story. Okay, so there's like something radioactive inside another Sissel. Very interesting. He's not dead, he's just not there. Oh! Could this person be the manipulator? There we go. He was manipulating the lamp to knock it out of Cabella's hands a little while ago.
And there was that whole bullets don't kill him thing.
Oh, come on. Just because you're being nefarious doesn't mean you have to play out the whole tired, evil laugh cliche.
What are you talking about, Tom? Of course it does. Like, this is Villain 101.
It's true. Shadow Cecil here has a flair for the dramatics.
Also, there's no creepy way to sit up than to do it slowly. Especially when you're a corpse, by the way. I've heard horror stories of, like, you know how dead bodies expel gas after they're dead?
Yes.
Yep. There's, like, I don't know, one or two tales drifting out there of, like, mortuary assistants and whatnot who are just going about their business late at night, you know, filling in forms and shit. The corpses fucking sit up!
Oh, yeah, the gas expulsion will just kind of, like, sort of make them prop up or something. Yeah. Dead bodies kind of move a lot more than you would think.
The human body is weird.
Also, we got confirmation that he was the one who controlled Lynn, by the way. So, theory confirmed.
Our game theory has been confirmed, guys.
Why would you do that out of a Sissel? And can we learn it without having to buy 5 more handheld games? Oh, there we go. He did it to frame Lynn.
Well, I mean, it's certainly a valid thing to be able to do, but I mean, it seems like a bit of a dick move, if you ask me.
Yeah, look at who we're dealing with here, mate. He shot Cabanella in cold blood. It seems that when another Sissel is done with people, he just puts a bullet in them. Because, you know, can't have, like, witnesses.
It's true, but he probably needs some anger management because I think he's got some deep-seated issues that need dealing with. You know, apart from the fact that he's kind of, like, dead, but, like, actual emotional issues that need dealing with.
Well, you don't know how right you are there, mate, but to go into further detail would be to spoil the rest of the game, so I'll say no more for now.
He kind of takes the joke we've been making lately of death not having any meaning in this world and actually acts upon it.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Wait, is this... What's that behind the party poppers?
Yeah, it's not gonna end well, I can tell you that now.
Oh my.
Now what's funny is, I did not see this the first time we were recording, so I thought this came into the ether from, like, the world of contrivances, when we actually went back and tried to stop it from happening.
And no, that just isn't the case, which is... It's a strange one, because I think I didn't spot it either to begin with, largely because I was too busy focused on the guide and just going, right, we need to do this. But what confuses me is why the hell did they leave dynamite on the table in the death trap room?
I mean, a kitchen table just does not seem like the proper place for storing dynamite.
Exactly, it's weird.
I knew it! Just because he's blue doesn't mean he's evil, but, you know, it's like an albatross is a bird, but a bird isn't an albatross. That kind of thing.
Yes, but obviously this guy was totally evil, and part of the plan, the dick.
They were in on it. They were all in on it. It's a damn conspiracy.
It actually kind of is. This is the literal meaning of a conspiracy. To conspire.
It's true, we have the Justice Minister being manipulated, the police force being manipulated, like, fuck.
Yeah, played us all like a goddamn ghost fiddle.
I feel like we've been tricked by a ghost.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so you wanted another Sissel's corpse brought down here, and you wanted to find the source of his powers. I guess so you could prove the existence of the manipulator and get Jowd off, but if that's the case, maybe Cabanela is more of a good guy than we first anticipated.
Well, I mean, I anticipated him to be a pretty good guy from the get-go. Did you see those fancy moves?
Well, you know.
I mean, I think what the game kind of sets up is that at the beginning, you can sort of tell that Cabanela's a good guy. He's just going about it a way that seems slightly contrary to standard morals.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, maybe he wants to, yes, keep his spotless record clean. But as you get further and further into the game, you begin to see that Cabanela is really a good guy. He's just ended up in situations which are incredibly difficult to maneuver. And
To be fair, the worst thing he's done so far that I could see is that he's been really insistent on Jowd's execution. And we just saw that the only reason he was like that during that phone call is because he was being held at gunpoint. Like, who wouldn't say really hurtful things like that if they're held at gunpoint on the phone? I mean, come on.
I forget what we're actually meant to do here, but I think we have to wait. Just wait. That's it. That's all.
yeah, you end up with a very short time frame to deal with saving the professor here, and you literally can't do a thing. Use literally, for God's sake. But you can't do a thing until another Sissel spins the wheel.
Yeah, that's where we're actually angling for, or aiming for, right now. This thing is a lot less creepy, rather, when the music is taken out of it, and it's just a simple trip time theme.
Exactly, and also, you know, it's a lot less creepy when you're not actually looking at it.
It's like, oh, you missed the big reveal. It's okay, I can just go back in time 4 minutes and see it all over again.
Wait, I blinked, do it again. Oh, no, wait, never mind, I'll just watch it again.
Want to see me bring Lynn back to life? Want to see me do it again?
And again, and again.
And again, and again, and again. Although it's funny, I don't know whether I should say this. Maybe I'll leave it for the last chapter when the big reveal happens, but the number of times Sissel saves people is actually itself a big spoiler, and I'll explain why in chapter 18.
Alright, here we go, guys. We've been waiting just to hurry up. The Wheel of Fate is officially turning.
Oh yeah. Also, it's a bit on the nose, but the thing there is also turning to activate the Mandela machine. Mandela machine? Rube Goldberg machine. What the fuck is a Mandela machine?
I kind of want to see it, like something that automatically paints mandalas. That would be sick.
No, it's a machine that lets Nelson Mandela out of jail, obviously.
Oh.
Huh.
We could have used that like 30 years ago.
Oh, we could. Alas, hindsight's a bitch. Yes, we know that voice. That beautiful, minuscule, adorable voice.
It's the leaf! I mean missile.
Yep, it's Missile, alright. And if you were paying attention, the area we panned down to before is where we can find Missile. And we could definitely use his special brand of ghost tricks about now. So, when they actually give us control again, we'll make our way down there.
Also, I like how the game is just going, he's here. Playing the pronoun game, it's just like, for God's sake, it's bloody Missile. We know it's Missile. Just say, a good little doggy is coming to help us.
It's that whole Final Fantasy X bullshit of, I like him, Where is he? He's like, okay, guys, we get it. None of you want to say his name because I got to pick it and I named him Buttface.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Buttface, being a champion Blitzball player, kind of takes the edge off any victory you achieve.
I can't believe High Summoner Yuna just gave a speech to all Asperia about her good close friend Buttface.
Come on, we're getting off the topic here, Jesus Christ. Oh, come on. Come on, get down there already.
Well, I mean, I suppose it's let's get down here, more Missile get up here, but I think we can actually do pretty much everything with Missile. With saving the day here, so thank God he turned up when he did.
Ah, actually, there is one thing you need Sissel for, I believe, and it's manipulating the trash can lid.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Alright, the pieces are in place. Are you guys ready for a bit of checkmate? A bit of Yahtzee? A bit of... Fuck it, I've won at Trivial Pursuit twice now in Board Game Blowout, because I know I am.
Pachinko!
I love how I specifically chose the brand of Trivial Pursuit that I was proficient in, because Volk and I, sorry for the edit there, we fucked up. Volk and I tried testing out the original one, and we couldn't answer a single question. It was shameful. Well, this is why we do trial runs, I guess. Oh, look at Remy, just trying to get a bit of rat arse over there.
That is... I don't know why, just Ratatouille is my least favorite Pixar movie. It just does not click with me at all.
Don't worry, I'm not the biggest fan of Ratatouille either. It's definitely better than Cars.
Oh yeah, well, Cars does nothing for me because I don't like NASCAR, which is like half the jokes, and I don't like any of the characters, so... Hey.
Oh, I wouldn't compare Cars to Ratatouille, Jesus.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Ratatouille either.
Well, a little bit of trivia. It was originally going to be in Disney Fun 2, but we just couldn't find any co-coms for it, so I'll put it in Disney Fun 3 for sure. But in the meantime, we gotta save the professor. So scurry, rats, scurry, trip over that trash can, and it'll roll over, and we can, I don't know, replace the trapdoor with it. Who knows?
You know, I'm kind of surprised that there's not as many Piper jokes in this game, or like Piper references, period.
Explain?
Pied Piper.
Pied Piper?
Okay, well,
I mean, with just the amount of manipulation of rats, like, I know there's a reason. We all know there's a reason, but it seems like, you know, with how the humor in this game usually is, and how Shu Takumi games are pretty they have a lot of references in it, you'd think there'd be at least one Pied Piper gag or something.
Yeah, I suppose so. Now, you have to wait until the trash can is lying flat like this, and then you can swap the two.
Well, no, it has to be proper flat, rather than just nearly flat.
There you go. Let's do this shit.
It must be flat, not flat-ish, not kind of flat, flat.
This might hurt a little bit, Professor, but it's better than being explodified.
You know, it's a shame that we couldn't do anything about stopping Cabanella's limbs from getting busted up. But hey, at least the professor's alive. That's the important bit.
You can't win all the battles, Richie. You know, you can't go back in time 4 minutes before a person's bones are broken. That's not how Sissel's ghost trick works.
You can't just solve all your problems with time travel. Oh wait, yes you can.
Yeah, it's amazing we haven't actually created copies of ourselves, just like repeating actions over and over.
You know, that way we can trick multiple things at the exact same time.
Well, that would just break the game, really.
I'm all for this.
So yeah, just in case you're wondering how Cabanella got up there in the first place, the manipulator, another Sissel, possessed him and made him walk up there himself.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
We did? Oh yeah, no Game FAQ guide work here, my man. I'm gonna flaunt my intelligence in front of someone who's, like, so smart he can figure out bullshit when he smells it. I adore this theme. It's wonderful. It screams victory. But, as you can probably tell by the runtime, we're only just about half done with this chapter. There's still a lot more manipulator magic to go. Don't worry, Mexi. I know you don't do well with long parts, but you got to get back into the groove, mate. We are doing spirit tracks after all.
Hooray! I love the choo-choo head, Tom.
Well, you see, thankfully, even though, this chapter's ludicrously long, it's nice because it is split up into two chunks, so to speak, because you've got the half hour, which is saving the Professor, and then the second half hour is saving Cabanella. So, we do have a lot going on, which is nice.
Yeah, at least it's not one really, really long puzzle. It's just, the first puzzle solved another problem, and then we just gotta... It kind of sets up an entirely new situation, so at least we're not just solving the same issue for an hour.
Exactly.
Or having like a really short puzzle, and then having a lot of exposition. Looking at you, chapter 14, as much as I like that chapter, yeah, I won't call it one of my favourites. It's good, but don't get me wrong, it's a bit long for it's a bit long in the tooth, let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
And the weird thing is that the later chapter puzzles are padded because I feel like the characters talk more within the puzzles later in the game. Like, it seemed early in game, it was like, okay, just play some tricks around, and yeah, characters would interject every once in a while, but it seemed like when we were in the park, it was a cutscene after every single trick. It's like, dude, calm down, I got it.
That is something that the game probably could have done better with. I get why they did it, because one, they're wanting to further the narrative through something other than this type of cutscene.
With shot, reverse shot.
And also, a lot of the times those conversations do give you hints as to what you need to do, and as you get towards the later stages of this game, there are certain puzzles that you might not necessarily see the solution to initially without that hint. That said, it does break up the flow a little bit, and that can be a pain.
Poor Cabanella. Even tried to rise to the top, he's still treated as a second banana. I guess this is how Vegeta feels all the time. It's scary how accurate that statement is. Actually, even fucking Toppo called him, like, second fiddle. That was amazing. Vegeta was truly blown the fuck out that day.
Oh, but when I make an anime reference, it's bad.
Shush, I like it, so that means you have to like it, or I'll kick you out the fucking call.
I still haven't even watched Z yet.
Okay, good for you. Like, am I supposed to be impressed that you don't watch schlocky anime?
Well, like, you're telling me I have to like Super when I haven't even seen Z. How? How do?
Anyway, welcome to the second half of this part. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with the manipulator now, and unfortunately, just because we're very straight-laced, and we like to get to the point in these LPs, and also recording stuff extra kind of eats up into Richie's time. He has a very strict schedule when it comes for us recording stuff. There's like, there is actually a fail state here, in that if you do a ghost trick in front of the manipulator, he will spot you, and you will basically die. Yeah, it's actually kind of scary, because he breaks the fourth wall to do it. Look it up on YouTube. Also, there's an alternate end to the upcoming puzzle, in which Cabanella, I'll explain when you see the outcome of the actual puzzle, but it's quite funny.
Oh, we're not gonna see the joke?
No,
no,
sorry.
Unfortunately not. I mean, to be fair, that is entirely my fault, because we followed the guide, and yeah, basically, you follow the guide and follow the pathway through to get to the actual solution. The joke solution, you've basically just got to wait for time to run out, effectively.
Oh. Now we have a path. Do not manipulate stuff when the manipulator or another Sissel is staring at you. You will lose. Wait for him to turn around first.
Yeah, and you have to be very quick in your movements. So yeah, this is the bit where we have now basically locked ourselves out of getting that joke ending to this particular chapter.
Really sorry, guys. Look it up on YouTube. You know, it's all there. In fact, I think Z Slicer may have recorded it. His playthrough was the one I was using to actually gauge how long each part would take to record. that didn't work out in the end. He skips through text very fast. We don't.
Yeah, we go through at a more regular reading pace. And yeah, that really does pad out the length of the game.
It does, yeah. Alright, yes, here we go.
See, I feel that when it comes to recording dialogue is honestly way more stressful than recording gameplay.
Yes, very much so. Because you have to gauge how long the text is on screen for a later date.
Exactly. Well, my issue is that I don't know how fast an average person reads. Like, am I reading too fast? Do I read slow? I don't know.
What I did for these last few chapters is, after the text had finished scrolling, I read it at my normal reading, pace, and then I clicked A.
That's what I do.
Before, I was waiting for the text to appear on screen, then I'd, go for it really fast, going, and once I reached the end, I would click A. That was stupid, and it also hurt my throat after, 2 hours of recording footage. So thank God I found a workaround, you know?
But yeah, I like that, Capcom is nice enough to grace us with the presence of a metal helmet.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Even Capcom can't avoid being a cock tease when it comes to Mega Man.
You motherfuckers. Sorry, I get angry sometimes.
Just want our blue jumpin' shooty man. Why won't you release him?
And also, is it just me, or does that knitted cap look sort of very similar to the one that Nick wears during Apollo Justice?
Oh my god, you're absolutely right.
So many references.
This is pretty dope, by the way, just the way Missile stops the bullet mid-air.
Yeah, that's because Missile is a badass.
Well, we've already had one Matrix reference.
Now, what could we possibly swap it out with?
Swap it with the hard hat! If only we could.
If only. Unfortunately, it's not the same shape as the bullet right now. For some reason.
Well, it's the same shape, it's just not in the same direction, that's the key.
That's the part that locks us out of getting the gag, where basically the hard hat hits, Cabinella in the face, and since it's going with the force of a bullet, it ends up killing him, I think.
Oh, it dramatically crushes bone in his skull and his whole body just snaps backwards. It's great.
Although the thing is, we've got to swap this with the knitted hat, obviously. Look, here, there's no chance to swap them. I apologise. Okay, Mr. Professor Man, we're doing it. I'm trying to explain how I fucked up here. You get the same animation anyway, the dialogue is just different. So if you want to see the Easter egg, look it up on YouTube. I'm sorry. Please like, comment, subscribe.
It's all good.
I just want to point out, number one, that's adorable. I've never seen someone get taken out with a fluffy hat before. But that was not in the same direction. That was hanging horizontally. It wasn't, diagonally. So I call bullshit on that, Ghost Trick.
I was gonna say the same thing. The orientations didn't truly match that time. They were just, being contrived. But I still feel that with the force of the bullet, the hat would still, his face would at least be red for, the rest of the night.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, airbags themselves are soft, but when they eject, they can crush bone.
Oh, best dog!
Best dog ever.
Oh, I see.
You can make a top 10 dogs in video games list, but at the end of the day, they're all number one, so hey, everyone wins. The most wholesome video on the internet.
I'll make it a bit easier for you, Bexy. Top 5 number 1 dogs in video games.
I would rate, comment, and subscribe to that channel.
No, I'm asking you to do it. Like, don't puss out. I need this information.
Number 5.
Number 5. Game trailers. Top 10 number 1 dogs in video games.
Number 5. The dog ending in Silent Hill 2. What a good boy. Number 4.
Go on. I'm waiting.
I guess the dog in Secret of Evermore. That's a good boy.
Okay.
Number 3. Red 13. Good boy.
Okay.
I don't know, Repeat's a good boy in Tales of Vesperia.
Yes.
Lots of good boys.
There you go. And obviously number 1 of the number 1s, Missile. I would have also accepted that one dog from fucking Resident Evil 4. Hey, it's that dog. Or, you know, the one from not Resident Evil 4 / Resident Evil 3. I don't know what Resident Evil it was based on. You know, the one with the castle and the girl running around. I think it's Haunting Grounds or whatever it's called.
Oh, Haunting Grounds.
Yeah.
So, Haunting Grounds isn't a Resident Evil game, it's a Clock Tower game.
There we go, yeah.
And yeah, that's also a good boy, because I think his name is Toby? Because you can pet him. Like, that's the thing, there's no pet missile button in this game. So I'm gonna have to dock at least half a point off its Metacritic review.
Half a good boy point. Good on you. I like a guy, a detective, who is proactive. He didn't reach the top for Nat. Oh, I seem to have broken limbs. Oh geez, yeah, they're definitely broken.
I mean, you were
Was
in an
kind of
explosion
involved in an
and a
explosion,
gun-
yeah.
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 And a gunfight.
And also, you know, were flung backwards by a knitted hat, which probably would have done a little bit of a number on your spine the way he crashed down onto the floor.
Well, it was enough to trick another Sissel that he was shot in the fucking face, so, let's just thank whatever gods are up there in Ghost Trick's sky in this world of theirs, that, yeah, he's not the kind of vengeful spirit to do follow-up on his murder victims.
I like how Ghost Trick is just a game about a group of people's worst night.
Yep.
Yes!
Everyone is having their worst night ever.
I mean, basically, this is the day that everybody dies.
All my friends are dead.
Well, not for long anyway. And yes, Richie, just this once, Rose. Just this once. Everybody dies! How about that Bradley Walsh as a fucking 13th Doctor companion, eh? What do you think about those apples?
I'm super excited about that. I'm also super excited that it's actually a team of people joining the TARDIS rather than just one person. It makes it feel different, and I'm loving it. Please, for the love of God, let it be good.
Shout outs to the fucking Chase. I love that game show. End of statement.
The chase is pretty damn fun.
Alright. Q&A time with the big C. That's Cabanella, not what you were thinking of.
Now that we can actually communicate with him. How awkward is this to talk to a ghost that looks like the dude that blew your brains out?
Yeah, well, attempted to. Anyway, we overwrote that particular ghastly event.
Yeah, but he still remembers it.
Well, it's true, but also he still remembers us saving his life. So he knows that us, Sissel, is not the same as another Sissel. So you can tell the difference.
So, that's why he was so fervent in his work. Perfect time for trauma to kick in, by the way. We find out the motivation for why Cabanella was so driven. He never believed that his friend would murder his wife, that Jard would murder his wife, just to get some grammar out of the way there. He didn't care that he confessed. He knew his friend. He knew Jard, and that's why he did everything he could to climb the ladder. And, you know, when you reach the top, you make a lot of enemies. You have to piss off a lot of people, but that didn't matter because he loved his friend so much.
Also, as I'm sure we're going to find out very shortly, getting up to the top is important because it allows him to see very important files. And, you know, if he kind of got taken, like, if something occurred where his spotless record was slightly hampered in some way, then he might get taken off that case, and then he wouldn't know diddly squat.
You know, Shu Takumi as a writer is really skeptical about success. Like, everyone who's the best at something got that way because of something negative. And it seems like all of his stories involving that character trope is having that record taken from them and then having them rebuild themselves as a better character, not as motivated by perfection, but about, like, goodness. I don't know, what's a better word? Like altruism. Like they're learning to be more altruistic with their shit, but it's always just so weird that it's always like, oh, they're the number one best thing. Like, no one in a Shu Takumi game is the best at something without having had stepped on the little guy. Like, even Phoenix, even though he's, like, in the universe, he's basically the best defense attorney. Like, it's never explicitly said to that because, I don't know, then it'll be revealed that Phoenix did some really bad things, but then that just leads to a whole spin-off character game.
So, just to recap you all here, yeah, it seems the manipulator tipped off, like, I don't know, the government and whatnot, that something was going to happen. I may have fucked that up intensely. Richie, use your brain, tell them the correct story.
So I think they knew that something was going to go down today. I can't remember how they found it out. I think it was by listening to comms channels of a certain foreign government, and that's how they found out about the manipulator's current plan of leaving the country by getting them involved.
Yes, and the manipulators work with the foreign government to, you know, influence politics here and whatnot and so forth, and there you go, you can read the text. Why are we even here, actually?
I know, it's just like, we could just pop off for like the next 20 minutes and I could, you know, play some more Super Mario Odyssey and get some more power moves.
Get the fuck back here. Let me tell you folks, don't do that. It fucking hurts.
Well, yes, that's because hot stuff hurts. Fire burns.
Fire bad! Fire bad!
Fire indeed hot. The professor will help, I guess. That's where I was going with that quote.
Fire exothermic reaction!
I remember when I spilled a fucking, like, bowl of, like, minced beef, carrots and gravy down myself because the plate I was carrying the bowl on was too small when I was opening the door to go upstairs, and it fucking hurt. And I still have the mark on my chest.
Yeah, that sort of stuff does always. Ugh, that's never pleasant.
Yeah. Ooh, 2 stupid mistakes. Usually, I just make 1, so this shall be interesting.
2 is a personal best for me.
I don't know nothing. I'm just a patsy, a schmuck.
A patsy, you see? I ain't know nothing, see? I ain't gonna talk and spill, see?
Cabana's hair looks different in this flashback.
I think it is the same, if only because obviously another Sissel's hair is the same as well. I think it's just the lighting and the positioning because we don't necessarily always see Cabanela in that pose.
True.
Or his outline is obscured by things behind him as well.
So another Sissel was actually taken in by the police, and Cabanela, you know, he was green at the time, so, well, like he said there, I don't know, I'm like a fucking prophet or something. Yeah, he, tried to manipulate him, ironically, but then he made a very crucial mistake, and This is a bit stupid, I'm gonna say. Not on the writing's part, just on Cabanela's part. Wait for it, it's coming. Oh, I'm coming, baby. Did somebody say my name? Let me just saunter out of here and leave this criminal to bask in the darkness and live in the shame that he has made for himself. Even in the past, he sold us out of view. Now, I thought, when we were redoing this, that he left the door open, but no, he did something worse. He left his gun behind in the interrogation room.
How fucking green can you be?
Yes, bravo, Cabanella.
Yeah, how? How do you not notice that extra bit of weight not on your personage?
Especially your firearm. Like, that's heavy.
Just like, if there's one thing you do not do as an inspector, it's leave your gun in the presence of a suspected criminal.
Yeah, so it was Cabanella's fault that another Sissel, made it to Thameslink Park in the first place, and, kidnapped Lynn, took her hostage, and, yeah.
And basically fucked everything up. Way to go, Ace Detective.
Couldn't let him go. It would tarnish his record.
Yes, and I think we're about to get the information that I sort of kind of said about a few minutes ago.
It's fine.
But yeah, it's basically, you can tell that's where the story's going.
There you go. Just because he's working within, the confines of the law, doesn't mean he can't, edge it a little bit.
I think that's part of what makes Cabanella actually a very fascinating character, is that he is so constrained by the law, but he's willing to do whatever he can within that structure to be able to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because very often in pretty much any medium, telling any story relating to the police, instead of working within the structures you've got to get to your solution, pretty much every story involves the police officer going rogue to get things done.
He becomes a loose cannon cop on the edge who doesn't play by the rules.
Exactly. So it's quite nice to see a character who turns that on its head.
Yeah. Interesting. I love the flashbacks in this game. It definitely, goes into what we were discussing about Shu Takumi games, having really good past sections. Definitely dead. Bereft of life. Ceased to be.
Shuffled off this mortal coil.
9 out of 10 doctors agree this corpse is dead.
There you go.
Gone to join the choir invisible.
Thank you. Did another Sissel just fucking instant translocation out of there? I mean, the door is there and I'm pretty sure it's unlocked.
Missile, there's only one character in this whole game that can instant transmute stuff, so you got some splaining to do.
I like the idea of there being like another Sissel-shaped mannequin just off screen, and that's what evil Missile switched with the corpse.
Another Missile? Everyone gets a dark version of themselves.
Alright, what was unusual about the corpse? Besides the fact that, it's emanating radiation, that's pretty strange.
Have you seen that hairdo?
Well, I mean, also, the whole getting pierced by a meteorite fragment in the back, it's kind of a bit of a weird one, if you ask me.
Yeah, base Sissel over here. Our Sissel, I should say. I think he's on the right track
Sissel
right
Prime.
now. There you go. Oh my god, there's just so many Sissels in this game.
This is like some Marvel shit. So this is Sissel from Universe 8649, otherwise known as Ultimate Sissel.
Couldn't perform the autopsy. I guess that's why he never filed the report then.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you can't, do the autopsy, then you can't exactly file the report, can you?
Well, I mean, you could.
He has healing abilities. He can't be killed.
Well, that explains so much.
And yet, raises further questions.
I feel like they could have went one step further. Don't just make it healing. Make it be that he's literally turning time back on his body. Like, you have so much time travel, work with it. Like, integrate it into everything.
Well, you may have struck nearer to the goal than you originally envisioned with that statement, but again, spoilers. Also, this is for you, Richie. Your scalpel, it did not cut deep enough. You get it? Do you get it? Fucking Xenoblade Chronicles. You corpse walking out the door ignoring Xenoblade reference not getting, motherfucker!
Oh my god, he's right!
Tom, of the Operation Rainfall games, Xenoblade Chronicles is the only one that I've never played.
Are you serious?
You've played more of Last Story than of Xenoblade Chronicles?
I actually really like the last story.
I only got as far...
It's also not nearly as ridiculously long as Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah, but you're always entertained during Xenoblade Chronicles. I didn't even want to pick up the last story.
Yeah, no, I really like the last story. It has its issues, but it's a very intriguing game, which has got a few nice little changes to it.
Follow-up question. How's Pandora's Tower?
Pandora's Tower is also very enjoyable. It's strange that it got tied in with those other games, because it's ostensibly not a Japanese RPG.
Yeah.
I would argue it's more like a God of War, Castlevania type dealio. But it's very good, and it's got some fascinating gameplay quirks to it and narrative areas, and it's got alternate endings, and it's actually a really fun game.
Alright, cool. Make sure you play Xenoblade Chronicles. End of Operation Rainfall statements. Huh. So the same radiation that can be found in the meteorite that crashed in Thameslink Park was the same of that in the corpse. By the way, I said stuff that hadn't appeared on screen yet and was explained later, same as you, Richie, so I guess we're both in the same incompetent boat right now.
Exactly, but to be fair, can you blame us? We are 57 minutes into this part that is over an hour long, so, yeah, we're all going a little bit loopy right now.
Thankfully, the rest of them, there's like a 48-minute part, a 47-minute part, and then a 59-minute part, but like 5 minutes of that is just credits. So none of the like further chapters ever reach this length. This is where the big stuff starts coming out.
God, if I wanted to read this much plot in the second half of a video game, I would have just played Xenogears.
I don't get it.
So the thing is that the first disc of Xenogears is really great, but they ran out of budget, so the entire second disc is explained in text. And it's really sad.
Ah, the origin story of Cabanela and the professor's beautiful friendship.
Best bro buddies for life.
I love how he's the one who doesn't take Cabanela's shit. Maybe that's why Cabanela respects him so much.
Probably.
It's why I respect him.
I mean, to be fair, if you've got someone who is very used to getting their own way, oftentimes as soon as they bump into someone who suddenly is just like, no, you're an idiot, they then respect that person quite a lot, because you're kind of just like, well, everyone else is just sort of sucking up to me. It's nice to have someone who will actually bite back.
Exactly.
Oh, love this music.
Swanky danky.
Source of my power is none of this world. I said that every time I finish editing a specifically long part, much like Kingdom Hearts 2 Abridged, which will be dropping finally on November 24th. My birthday, by the way. I take cash, I take gold, I take jewels, or you could just like watch it, I guess, ad block on or off, whatever.
Or, you know, you could say that you take money.
Do you take rubles?
Well, I do when it's given, you know, legitimately or gratefully. I don't want money just for the sake of money. You know, I'm a very pragmatic guy.
I'm talking about the currency in Kingdom Hearts. It's called money.
Oh, okay. See, that's a joke that doesn't work unless you have some kind of text reference to it.
This is true.
Plus, I thought it was pronounced Mooney.
Mooney? Mooney? Are you fucking retarded?
Basically.
Sorry, I just made myself laugh about how unnecessary that was.
Yes, everyone, we are, I think, certifiably going a little bit nuts right now. We are at the hour mark, and there's still however many minutes left of talky, plotty.
It's just 5 minutes, whatever. So yeah, the professor here was trying to recreate the Rube Goldberg machine. Caught myself that time. It's not Mandela machine anymore. Oh, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
You know, you could make it a lot easier on yourself by calling it the Camilla contraption.
Well, that's 2 Ks, and that's too close to KKK for my liking. Hey, baby, I'm just sitting here with broken bones. Oh, can't call an ambulance.
Everyone needs an ambulance at this point.
Oh, right, yeah. Good one, Cabanella. I think you already did that with, This is hilarious. It's not you she looks up to, Cabanella. Yeah, thank you, Sissel, for saying what we were all implying.
PR is not Cabanella's strong suit.
And I mean, to be fair, she sort of does look up to him, but also Lynn does look up to him, but for very different reasons.
Yeah, well, that's one way to put it. Vicious, sociopathic, manipulative, literally.
A giant ass.
Doesn't matter, a giant ass was the one behind all of this. It's like, oh, it's the spirit of a butt. How very uninteresting and right out of left field. Jesus Christ, never doing an hour part again for at least 2 months.
For at least another week.
Like, you thought my commentary was bad at base level? Oh, you wait until time wears down on that motherfucking psyche of mine. Oh my god, don't do that. That was a child scare.
Again, this is an escaped convict running around town.
It's fine, wait. There we go, the minister called off the execution order.
Alright, now he's just a free man walking around. Congrats everyone, we did it.
Well, he's free until tomorrow morning at least anyway, so,
Yeah, but we cease to exist at that point. We don't care.
Well, he did still try and escape jail, so, you know, he's got to pay for that crime at the very least.
And we have evidence of him tampering with evidence, so he has still committed a crime and probably needs to continue serving time for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although that said, considering he's already served 5 years, he's perhaps already served his sentence that he would get for perverting the course of justice by tampering with evidence.
Yeah, whatever. Yes! Oh, the suit-up scene, I love this. Just tweeting this at him, it's fun. Fuck yeah, buddy.
Henshin!
How do I look, Lynn? Oh, my hero! My hero!
Jowd has now returned to being the symbol of peace and justice in the world.
This is kawaii as fuck, bitch.
Tom, I think we might need to have some words with you about your use of the word kawaii, because I don't think it means exactly what you think it means.
I know what kawaii means. I'm being ironic, okay?
This is the internet, bro.
I think we need to teach you a little bit about irony.
This is just a cavalcade of fuckery at this point.
Yes, it is.
Don't worry, guys. No more parts as long as this one. If you stuck around this long, we appreciate it, and my watch time and ad revenue appreciates it as well.
See, like, oh, I lost my thought. Continue.
That's fine. I'm basically done at this point.
Nice.
Alright, we gotta chase after another Sissel, and that means going through the phone lines.
That means going through time.
Yeah, how will we find him though? He must be like far away at this point.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if we can find whoever used they can find the communication cables, then you should be fine.
Alright, let's just hope for a chance in a million, I suppose. I'll wait here. It's not like I'm going to fade away at dawn or anything. Oh, I love how hopeful that everything is now. After the darkest of events, that's what Ghost Trick does best, I think.
Yeah, but it's really nice and optimistic now when it's gonna get frickin' dark again very quickly.
And how?
Because it is always darkest just before the dawn.
There you go. So, Mexi,
What's up?
did you enjoy yourself recording this part?
I mean, we survived. We did it.
Yeah.
We traverse.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I'm done now. See you next part. Bye!